What's going on, you guys? So I wanted to actually get into a tweet that I saw from Grand Tactician, and it's about their latest patch. So let's just dive right in because we'll discover this together. All right, but before we hit that one, let me take a look at patch. Okay, so let's actually go to this one because it does both. Some details about our latest patch. We updated the in-game guide, field book, and also added one for battles explaining the main game mechanics. Cool. Get Grand Tactician on Steam. So let's take a look at these screenshots before we head over to the patch details. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. Nice. I like this. They really put in a lot of work. Like, I'm telling you. Okay. You got. So this is for noobs, well, noobs like me, that don't want to go through a tutorial. You could take out your field book, and instead of reading a manual, it's like I'm not reading a manual. I'm reading a field book. It's much more military, and less boring. All right, nice. I love these maps. I can never get enough of this. I could look at 100 of these and still be. All right, that's all of them. Let us get to Steam. All right. So this is the latest patch. Came out on July 25th, so about 5 days ago. And there is a lot of changes here. So let's go dive into them. So added tooltip for armies, rebalanced desertion rates in low support and low morale environments. That's interesting. Current engagement. Oh, NATO symbols. Ooh, that's really cool that they added that. Probability of victory and estimated length. Added flame symbol for damage blocked companies behind the symbol. Okay. Added info for infrastructure damage and losses for each company and tooltip. Added railroad track list with economic info and construction duration. Oh, wow. Railroads can now only be constructed using the icons in the list. Added alert symbols for units with low supply. That's cool. That's going to come in extremely handy because I always have a tendency to have my units in low supply. I'm like, dang, I should have checked. Now there's an alert. That's cool. Commander-in-chiefs are replaced by low-rank officers. Cool. So that would be that would be a weird bug. Thankfully, they updated that. Can you imagine like the commander-in-chief dies, right? Let's say it's who was the first commander-in-chief? It's escaping me. The guy who did the Mexican campaign. Yeah, I forgot. But imagine him being replaced by like a second lieutenant. I am now the commander-in-chief. Lieutenant? Yes, that's right. Lieutenant to commander-in-chief. That's the fastest promotion you'll ever see. AI now takes into account enemy units in recruitment when setting own recruitment goals. Oh, that's cool. Higher levels of supply depots deliver supplies now faster. Added info about connected depots and line capacity in unit panel. Fixed rare situations where armies may end up on non-passable terrain after retreats. Thank you. I did run into that a couple of times when I played. Rearranged top panel UI. Cool. Now using a 3-month average to determine the change in commander attributes. Experience influence is now taken into account. Further UI info to follow later. Battle monument info. Battle monument info now shown in other tooltip is visible. There's also a few things fixed. Missing the battle of and naming of naval battles fixed. When combining artillery units, the guns are not adjusted. Added tooltip info about fleet firepower and used gunnery. Ships without ammo and return to harbor now counting as disabled. Cool. Multiple groups now tend to coordinate defensive operations better to fight together. Okay, that's awesome. Reworked retreat functions. Yes, that's a big one. That's a big one. Connection to supply depot is now shown faster after a game has started. Supply lines are now colored red, yellow, and green. Cool, depending on the supply efficiency. Love that. Love that. Changed info about low morale units in battle start panel. AI defense operations are now canceled if strength gets too low and moving around strong enemies. Yes. AI now prefers to rally nearby friendly units next to an enemy instead of launching new defensive operations from far away, which led to accumulation of AI units in certain areas. I'm noticing a lot of these were focused on AI. There's a lot of them in this list focused on AI. Contract expires in Army Management Panel, shows now days if below 1 month remaining. Cool. Fix, dropping a ship from harbor pool if the harbor pool does, add it if it's selected. Another one, opening military tab while fleet is selected, mixes up army and fleet view. Replaced economic cycle graph in finances panel by overall goods production. Added tooltips for change in commander attributes. Added tooltips for army strength and campaign panel. And then a whole bunch of fixes. Sometimes units are not retreating if enemies are too close. I ran into that. Issue with monthly economic report may have led to strange UI glitches. Officers returning from wounded in action or POW not visible in officer panel. And commander attributes, influences from commander-in-chief used multiple times for hierarchy level. Okay, and then these are the battle ones. As you can see, a lot of them are focused on the campaign, which is good because I think the campaign needed a little bit more work than the battle one. Reworked minor major defeat mechanisms now dependent on casualty relation and military experience affecting readiness and carry supplies when returning to campaign map. Step 2 will follow adjustment retreat mechanism. That's awesome. Fixed AI deployment behind breastworks not accurate enough to receive cover bonus at the start of the game. Units now use double quick to move into final position before engaging enemy if initiative is on. Adjustments to AI micro behavior. Brigades are now not spreading out that wide, but try to keep together. Awesome. Adjusted brightness on Manassas map. Assumed fix. Redeployment of own enemy units in opposite deployment zones if they were cut off. Needs further testing. Reduced number of rifle fire if units are inside. Ooh. Wait. Reduced number of rifle fire if units are inside buildings. Oh. So that's a thing now. I didn't know units can go inside buildings. That's a really cool thing. Shoot. That's awesome. Damn, that's awesome. Not even like Scourge of War. And I don't think any games, maybe Ultimate General, you can put troops in buildings, but I'm not certain about that. But this is awesome. This is a huge feature, I would say. Fixed AI group setup sometimes leads to non-moving groups. Jackson X Chancellorsville. Unit tooltip for single brigades now regularly updated when moving over unit. Continuing old group path now cancel if player has at least moved one subordinate while group was stopped to engage. Fixed points counter visible if top panel is minimized. AI now defenses less often if number of held objectives is comparable. Okay. Interesting. That's going to be good. So they're going to be more active. Low morale units do not break immediately at start, but have a minimum and capped morale. Reworked retreat mechanism. Yes, definitely needed in a battle. I can't tell you how many times my units would break and retreat into the enemy, which is definitely not where you want to go. Fix when giving movement orders to top hierarchies, the group sometimes, if not reposition, if contact to enemy is established, but simply stopped. Added battle field book. Oh, interesting. And then there's others. Improved field book guides, internal debug messages, scrolling log. So this is patch 0.9113. So we are less than 0.1 away from the vanilla version. They're going to release a 0.92. I'm betting that within a week or two. So based upon the way they're releasing patches, let's see, how long do we think this is going to take? So this was 0.87, was released in March. So it took to go from 0.87 to 0.9. What? That's May, June, July, 3 months. Okay. So we're looking at like a month per 0.1 release, I would say, right? Or 0.01. So we might have a little bit more to go. That's 0.87, 0.88, came out in April. 0.9, 0.91. Yeah, so we're looking at a point every month. So based upon this, I mean, like 9.2 is probably going to come out in August, right? So I'm trying to do math in my head. We're looking at probably vanilla next year. I mean, looking at this, because, right, like August would be 9.2, September will be 9.3, right? October will be 9.4, November will be 9.5, December would be 9.6. So we're looking at probably between January and probably somewhere around like March, I would say, of next year for 1.0. So it's probably not going to be this year. Interesting. Well, either way, I'm probably going to, since we're so close to the vanilla release and there's been so many adjustments to the AI, I'm probably going to not wait for 1.0 and probably just start playing the game now, because I feel with all these AI adjustments, I can get a good experience, even though it's not 1.0. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and catch you guys in the next one. See you then.